Hello friends, today we are going to see the methods of water distribution. So, first we have seen the different methods of the layouts, the different layout systems which is used for the distribution. Today we are going to see the methods of water distribution. For the efficient distribution system, we require adequate pressure at the various points. For example, if my house is located at one point or one corner of the layout, the water it is far away from the water tank. The sufficient pressure has to be reached with the water so that I will get the water which is flowing very fluently. So efficient distribution system should have the adequate pressure required at different points. Depending upon the ground level of the source, topography of the area and local condition, we can have three different methods of distribution. First one is gravity system, second one is pumping system, third one is combined gravity and pumping system. So gravity system and pumping system, combined gravity and pumping system. First we will see the gravity system. The gravity system which is suitable for when the source of supply of water is at a higher location and the layout or the city at the lower point, so that the water will flow in a gravity. So this is the most reliable and economical method of distribution. When the head is available, when we have to see the proper amount of head is available for the water to flow, and we have to see that there will not be loss of head due to the friction and other losses. In that case we can go for the gravity system. So this is the method where we can have the gravity system. Here we have the water reservoir. Here we have the water reservoir. Here we have the water reservoir and the town. So that water will flow in a very efficient way. So water will flow in a suitable head. Next method is pumping system. The treated water is directly pumped into the distribution main without any storing. So where we can apply this? When you have the bore well, generally this is applied for smaller layout where borewell is the source of water. So what they will do, from the borewell it is directly connected to the distribution network. So when you switch on the pump, then water will be flowing into the distribution. So this is also called as pumping without storage system. So here we require high lift pump so that the water has to be supplied for the higher elevation also. But one disadvantage is if the power failure is there, complete stoppage of water, there will not be any supply of water will takes place. Therefore, generally we will not adopt in smaller in a local or the very urban rural area. We cannot go for this because there will be a problem of power failure. So this is the method where we can see this is the source of water, or here you have the clear water reservoir. From the pump house the water will be flowing into the city. Here we have the static pressure head, minimum draft, maximum draft. Then we have loss of head due to the friction and effective pressure head we can see. This is the effective pressure head. This is the loss of pressure due to the friction in the pipe. Next one is generally what system we adopt is combined system, that is gravity and pumping system. This is most common. Treated water is pumped into the higher elevated reservoirs and then it is supplied to the consumer by gravity. The excess water during low demand period is stored in the reservoir and gets supplied in the higher. So we know that the demand of water is not constant toward the 24 hours. It will be varying with respect to our daily needs. Therefore, when there is no demand of water, then it will be stored in the storage tank. Then it will be distributed in the, whenever the high demand is there, then it will go flow through the storage tank. So this method is economical and efficient method. Here we can see that this is the source of water. From here it will go to the treatment. From the treatment it will go to the pump house or the clear water reservoir. From the reservoir it will go to the service reservoir, that is called OHT, overhead tank. In the many places we can see this overhead tank, right? So next, distribution reservoirs. Now we can see different types of reservoirs. Distribution reservoirs are also called as service reservoirs. These are called storage reservoirs, where stored water or the treated water supplying is done in the time of emergencies. It will absorb the hourly variation or the hourly fluctuation. What are the functions of these distribution reservoirs? It will absorb hourly variation in the demand. That means we know that 24 hours we don't require same quantity of water. There will be a variation. So it will take that particular load where higher load is there and also lower load is. When there is lower requirement, the water will be stored. When there is a higher requirement, it will the water will be flowing through the distribution reservoir. They maintain constant pressure in the distribution system, and also stored water can be used for the emergencies. So it should be located in the higher elevation. That is an important factor. Then we are going to see what are the different types of reservoirs. Depending upon the elevation, we can have surface reservoir and elevated reservoir. Surface reservoir means the reservoir on the ground level or the below the ground level. Elevated reservoir means above the ground level, or we can say that over a tank. Surface reservoir is called ground reservoirs. Most generally it is circular or rectangular in shape. Underground reservoirs are preferred, especially in the when we require large quantity of water. So these reservoirs are constructed on the natural ground or below the ground level using stones, bricks or reinforced concrete. So we have to, while designing this, we have to should be very careful. What precautions we have to take? When the reservoir is full, there will be earth pressure or the water pressure. When there is a suddenly when the when you pump it, when the water becomes empty, the outside pressure will be higher. That means earth pressure will be higher in the wall. So proper designing precautions we have to take when we are constructing the underground reservoirs. Position of the groundwater table is also very important. Then the floor of the reservoir is also be constructed in a proper way. That means RCC slabs generally we have to lay. To improve, get the higher water tightness, we require bituminous compound. For the construction joint, nowadays we have waterproofing chemicals which is readily available in the market. That also we can use it. Top, we have to, if I am using the top for different purposes, then we have to lay a concrete roof of around 60 centimeter or 6 centimeter thick. For aeration, we require inspection or ventilation pipe. This is the underground schematic diagram of underground reservoir. Next, we have the RCC tanks. Generally, everyone knows what are the benefits of RCC tank because of its life, maintenance, and decent appearance. GI tanks nowadays it is not used because of the life, corrosion, maintenance. SDPE pipes nowadays we are using very much SDPE pipes. We have high density polythene pipes tanks are used for the storing. Generally we use for residential purpose overhead tanks. We can use it. because it is lightweight, cheap, maintenance is very easy, and cleaning is also very easy. Next important is elevated storage reservoir. This is one thing what you can see in many places where when you are moving in a road. These ESRs are overhead tanks. Very simple. It is not generally it is used for the gravity system as well as for the pumping system, that combined system what we can say. Generally this is in a rectangular, circular or elliptical in shape. We have, and the material used nowadays, all the overhead tanks are made up of RCC only. The topography of the city is also very important while we are locating the overhead reservoirs or elevated storage reservoirs. These the accessories are inlet pipe, outlet pipe, overflowing, then float gauge to know the level, indicating the depth of water, automatic device to stop the pumping when the water is completely filled, manhole and the ladder to enter into it for the maintenance purpose, ventilation and ventilation pipe which is for the circulation of fresh air. So these are the components of distribution network. Thank you very much.